5 or 6 years ago?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, the night before. They were getting their stuff together.
I can't wait for the city to
They had lamps and everything.
give all the money back to us.
Call the meeting to order. Y'all please rise. Then I ask that you join me in a moment of reflection on the business that's before us this evening. If you please join me in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Violet. Alderman Begley.
Here.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Here.
Alderman Key.
Here.
Alderman McGrogan.
Here.
Alderman McGovern.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Any special presentations tonight? None that I'm aware of. Under consent calendar, I've got 4 items. The approval of city council minutes for the council meeting on July 18th, 2023. The approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending July 28th, 2023. Approval of a request from the Knights of Columbus to conduct their tag day on designated corners in Palos Heights in accordance with the city code on September 15th and 16th, 2023. And a motion to approve a request from Chicago Christian High School for a special events permit to conduct their annual Light the Night Family Run on Saturday, September 16th from 4:30 till 5:30 on a designated route subject to change due to public works projects. Moved by Alderman Clifford, second by Alderman McGovern. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's actually do a roll call on that, I'm sorry.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
All right, no sealed bids tonight. Under my report, actually, I just going to give you an update on some of the stuff going on, but I'm sure Alderman Key will cover that in his remarks, so I don't want to steal his thunder later. Okay. So, City Clerk, anything?
No report.
City Treasurer?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the Treasurer's Report for the month ending June 30th, 2023. General Fund began the month with $6,103,684. Revenues were $1,089,254. Expenses totaled $1,504,521. Other source use, $3,819. Giving an ending cash balance in the general fund of $5,684,598. Total of all city funds began June with $27,976,878. Revenues for the month were $2,105,036. Expenses totaled $3,149,072. Other source use $157,521, giving an ending cash balance in all city funds of $26,775,320. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Need a motion to approve the Treasury Report? Moved by Alderman Clifford, second by Alderman McGovern. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney?
No report.
Any communications? Anyone have? Citizens wishing to address the council? Anyone? Yes, ma'am. Please give your name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Susan Murphy-Chena. I'm a proud owner since 1994 in Palos Point Townhomes. There has been a problem for many, many years, and no one seems to be able to help us. That's why I'm here addressing the council to see if someone can help. First of all, the only 2 aldermen or alderwomen too, that came around and introduced themselves to our townhome was Alderman Lavelle in our beginning, and Alderman Komarski was very, very good to us in helping us. Since then, nobody, and I know we have 2 new people. I know one because I met him somewhere personal, and I did call that person twice and never got a return call over something. What I'm concerned about is the street that is in front of the medical building between the nursing home and the back of the homes of Palos Point. There are weeds growing that look like they're bushes. There's dead trees, and we are trying to put up a fence this year to help those homes from getting all the garbage and the nonsense that gets blown up upon their land. How can we do that if there's dead trees and all these weeds? So I called the building department, and the building administrator returned my call. He talked to my husband because I wasn't available, and he said he's trying to get the maintenance department to tell him who owns that medical building, okay? And my husband said, well, what about what our needs are? And he said, well, they'll have to work on that. Do you know, I don't think those were the exact words, but that came out of it. So I've been to the medical building through the years. This has been going on since 1994. One time, one of the owners did help us and repaired the street. Since there's a pothole right now that if a little child rode one of their bikes down there, it would swallow the front tire. That's how bad it is. The whole street in front of that medical building is a mess. And as I said, they have to pay taxes. They have to have a PIN number. They have to be paying you a water bill. Why is it no one in our Palos Heights area knows who owns that building? Does it make sense to any of the 69 town homeowners that live there? And why can't someone else help us out? There's 69 homes that vote, but nobody seems to care. Unless they need their petition signed to run, then we might get someone that comes to Palos Point. But outside of that, very seldom does anyone come. As I said, there's 2 new people here. People even have asked, because we're one of the longest ones there. There's probably 10 to 12 original homeowners still there, give or take the number. And they've asked, who are our aldermen? I'm like, I don't know. I met one personally, gave me a card, was running. I voted for the person, haven't gotten any help from the person.
Okay. Well, I'll check into it tomorrow.
I would really appreciate it.
No
but
problem.
if you could please let me know who it is so that I can call and get them. We want to put up that fence, and there's dead pine trees. There's bushes that people think are bushes. They're not. They're weeds.
Yeah.
I'm not a horticulturist, but I know what a weed looks like that's overgrown. And if we're going to put a fence and all this is going to fall on the fence,
No, I
what's the
understand.
purpose of putting up the fence?
Sure, understandable. No, I'll handle it.
My address is 7903 Breakwater Way. And if you want my phone number after the meeting, I will give it.
That'd be
I'm
great.
not giving it public.
I understand. Okay, please do.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
much.
much. We'll handle it. Great. Any other citizens wishing to address council?
Hello, my name is Sue Jankowski. I live at 7410 Ishnala Drive. I'm here to talk about the motorized vehicles that are being used by children, scooters, cars, motorcycles, many of which can reach some pretty good speeds. I know them to be using it because I walked my dog, and I have to work around some of these kids. Maybe not every day, but often. My concern is that they are used in our parks. The children go on the streets with these motorized vehicles. They go pretty fast. We ran into 2 boys today who were going very fast. The park has walkers, runners, strollers, old people, young people, children at the playground, and these kids are having a great time. They're children. They're having fun. Their parents bought these things for them, and they want to use them. But I don't think the park is the right place for that. When we walk our dog, there's really no way to know if someone's behind us. They're silent. And being that they're children, they don't always alert you. I will say, they never alert you. We've got our dog on a leash. Our dog could be killed. He's 7 pounds. He could be run over by these. Not to say also children who are riding their little trikes or whatever around. It's just dangerous. It's dangerous for the kids who are riding these too. They're not having helmets on. They're riding down the street. I just see it as a big, big problem. And what I'm asking for is that some signage be posted. Is that going to help? Probably not a lot. I'm a realist about this. But it might at least give me some, hey, you know, you can't ride your vehicle here. That would help. And maybe to have the police department ride by occasionally and say, kids, the park isn't where you can ride a motorized vehicle. We don't allow cars and vehicles to travel on these paths that are meant for people. The other thing I'm just going to throw in there is, please, please, people of the city, put your dog on a leash. I know you think it's real fun for them to run in the park, and it is, and I understand big dogs like to do that. I have a little dog. I have one dog that was already mangled, mutilated, and killed by a dog not on a leash. So I walk around with a club, and an air horn because I'm terrified that these loose dogs are going to take my little 7-pound baby. So if we could work on that too, that would be great. Those two things are just for the safety of the people of the town.
Right.
Thanks for
All
listening.
right, thanks, Sue.
Ms. Jankowski,
Yes,
can I ask you a question, please?
yes.
Which park specifically were you talking?
Okay, well, our biggest problem with the loss of our dog is Community Park right here.
Okay.
The park we normally go to is Palmer Park. And that park is full. I mean, there are pickleball players like you can't believe. And that park is full of children. It's a great park because it's a new park and there's all kinds of great fun things. And people are walking. They're getting their exercise. I've seen older people with walkers getting their exercise out there. Strollers, you know, you got grandmas with their little strollers, you know, taking care of their grandchildren. It's really a busy park. And it's really, I don't think any park is the place to use these vehicles. And I'm not sure where they can take them to use it. And I really don't care because the park isn't the place.
Okay.
And the streets aren't the place either. I'm afraid that one of these kids is going to shoot out because they do.
Yep.
And a car is going to be there, and then we're going to have a tragedy. So I don't know what the remedy is other than signage in the police.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody
Right.
can think of another way to handle this, that would be great.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Sue. All right. Okay, any other citizens? Yes,
If I can comment on that?
sure.
I've got several phone calls on the motorcycles and carts and things of that sort, also on golf carts. And it's my understanding, talking to the chief, the police chief, that when they receive calls on the street and they encounter such, they politely follow those, or guide those children back home and talk to their parents and try to explain the situation, how dangerous that is. So I thought the park situation was under control because I haven't heard that in a while, but the police department is acting on that and they're aware of it, and it's a touchy situation for a lot of reasons, but they're working on that all the time. I make calls on that frequently.
Okay, we'll readdress it, that's it. Okay. All right. All right, Finance Committee, Alderman McGurgan?
Mayor, no formal report this evening, but
Okay.
I just wanted to mention to the residents that the assessor's office has sent out the assessments. So if you didn't get it, you might want to contact, or maybe you don't want to contact them. But anyhow, they're available, or even you can look them up online.
Great.
That's the end of my report.
Thanks. Public Safety, Alderman Basso?
Yes, Mayor, I have no items on the agenda. However, I'd like to mention once again the great job that the police department did keep us rolling and safe during our car show, 20th annual car show. And it's the things you don't see that the police department mostly does to avoid problems, prevent problems, and keep a handle on things. And along with the same message, we have an event out or the police department does have an event out, National Night Out, in the parking lot tonight. And it's your opportunity, as the name suggests, this is an event that takes precedence the first Tuesday of August every year across the country. The police department is out in the parking lot with the hopes that you'll come out and meet and greet, and hope that they can make some coalitions or some bonds with individuals and organizations, not only within the city but within surrounding cities, and get some cooperative work going for crime stopping, et cetera, on a positive note. So if you're home watching this meeting, maybe it'd be more interesting if at the end of this meeting you take a ride to the police department parking lot. There's lots of events for children out there. Meet the chief, meet some of the officers, and have a good time. The event is until 9 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, and they've got all their equipment on display, so you can see the drone and the different information, different kind of
That's
activities.
the end of my report. Thank
Great,
you.
thanks, Alderman. Municipal Grounds and Property, Alderman Bigley.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening I have a motion to approve the payment to the Door Authority in the amount of $14,690 for the installation of ADA accessible doors at Lake Catherine.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Bigley, second by Alderman Clifford. Any discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Begley?
Yes.
Alderman Basso?
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski?
Aye.
Alderman Key?
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan?
Yes.
Alderman McGovern?
Yes.
Alderman Clifford?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I just wanted to comment on one of the speakers we had this evening. We were able to track down who owns that parcel of land in front of the, where the potholes were. So I will follow up with you as well, too, okay?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And that's the end of my report.
All right.
Thanks.
Planning and zoning, Alderman McGovern?
Mr. Mayor, no, I have no report tonight. I think Alderman Key will probably be taking, using some of it when he does his business.
It's going to be a big presentation when you go.
No. It will not be.
All right. Okay. Alderman Key.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to award a bid to Hacienda Landscaping for the development of Orchard Park project in the amount of $498,034.35.
Moved by Alderman Key. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Begley. Discussion?
Yeah,
Roll-
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, how big is this park? It's almost $500,000. I mean, this is right next to the rec center, right? I mean, what are we gonna have in there? I think the residents, would like to know. Maybe you could expand on that, Jeff?
We're getting half of it back from Oslad.
It's good, but I mean, is there tennis courts or is it an ice skating rink?
So a little path that goes around. There's a water feature. There's going to be a splash pad and play
Pavilion, isn't there?
play equipment and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderman Begley?
Yes.
Alderman Basso?
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski?
Aye.
Alderman Key?
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan?
Yes.
Alderman McGovern?
Yes.
Alderman Clifford?
And then Thursday night is probably the biggest concert of the year. We're having the Chicago Experience, and something I've noticed this year that I hadn't noticed in previous years is that the concerts are so popular that people are actually going there in the morning and putting their chairs out way at hours ahead of time. So especially in a concert like we're having on Thursday night, there's going to be a number of people with their chairs out. So come early. There's food vendors there. And so come out and enjoy not only food, but maybe a little social time before the concert starts. And we're just going to have a really good time on Thursday night. And that concludes my report, Mr.
All right. Roads and Construction, Alderman Clifford.
Excuse me. Yes, no formal report except on former Video Park Avenue has now been finished. The second coat's been put on. Final little cleanup's been going. All the parts are going over for any innuendos or a punch list on there. But for the most part, that's all done. And another streets over in the 3rd Ward, 2nd Ward, and the 1st Ward are also near completion. End of my report.
All right. License, permits, and franchises. Alderman Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report this
All
evening.
right. Water and Sewer, Alderman Violet. Is someone going to?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the purchase of 902 meters and 918 smart point readers from Core and Main in the amount of $275,000, $548.
Moved by Alderman Keyes, or second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Clifford. Discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Begley?
Yes.
Alderman Basso?
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski?
Aye.
Alderman Key?
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan?
Yes.
Alderman McGovern?
Yes.
Alderman Clifford?
Yes.
So just to be clear, all the water meters in the city were replaced about 22 years ago, or maybe longer than that.
No, not that long.
All right,
20
but they
after I
have
came
a battery in them. That it's not a replaceable battery. They have a life of 20 years, and so we've come to that spot, and that's why we're buying these. And they'll be shelved in Public Works, and as needed, they'll be replacing all the water meters in the city.
Yeah, it was because I've been in office 22, and it was after I came in. So
Okay.
So, all right. All right. Business and Economic Development, Alderman Key.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I hope you're waiting for
Oh, sure we are.
to me to make comments about the car show. But normally we have a little over 400 cars at the event, and I think Mother Nature behaving itself this year. We had very nice weather. It didn't rain, and we had a nice breeze to keep us cool. But we had 682 cars come, and just thousands of people were here. And I did notice that some of the local businesses were working the crowd really and advertising their businesses, which I think is very smart. I know the restaurants and were very full, the line out of the shaped ice place was long, and so that's why the car show exists, to bring people into the business district. And so it was a really good event. In the biweekly report, you had sent us a link where someone had done a little video presentation, and it included both handheld cameras and drone footage, and that was very interesting to see from a bird's eye view, to see all the cars.
When you're down there, it's one thing, but when you see it from above,
Yes.
it's a whole different.
Yes, and so that was very interesting to see. But also that night, our own Channel 4 was there interviewing yourself and myself and other people, and then there were other cameramen going around doing some of the filming for a Channel 4 presentation, which is just one of those jobs that is happening behind the scenes, like our public works guys just cleaning up afterwards and taking all the tents down and storing them. There's so many chairs and a stage and where the music was playing, and like Alderman McGovern said, our police had to do traffic duty, make sure that everyone's crossing the street every block, make sure that everyone was safe. So thank you to all the volunteers that actually signed up with the beautification committee to work the event, and to all the service people that just took care of it and made it a beautiful event.
Yeah, it's particularly Public Works puts a lot of time and effort into this thing, and I'd like to take my hat off to Bob Starzyk.
Yeah.
Bob has devoted his life to this show. I mean, and I know every year he says this is his last year. We got to keep him coming. But
it was very
he's done
special
a great
with it
job.
being 20th anniversary.
Yes,
so.
right. And it was 20 years. I mean, even this year, some of you may have paid attention when you put your vehicle sticker on. It was actually dedicated to the 20th anniversary of the car show. So yeah, Mike.
Jeff, great job too on the show. You touched on it, but I think, and I saw it, and I sent it out to some friends and clients of mine who are car buffs. The YouTube, which you might want to talk about, they did a really nice job. Whoever put it together, I don't remember the name, but it's probably the crew or something back there. But whoever did it, it's a great thing. And if you have friends or something, or like I had some friends from out of town that go to these shows, and I sent it out. Their words were like fabulous, excellent, what a great show. I wish I was there. It was really well done.
Yeah.
Something that occurred to me at this event, but also at the 4th of July activities, was, when the fireworks are done and you're walking back to your cars and stuff, and Public Works is cleaning up afterwards, it's stunning how much an event like that, the garbage that's generated.
Well, you're right about that, but which is even more stunning is the fact that next morning you go by there and everything's
Correct.
clean.
And so, all of Harlem Avenue is.
Because I went down.
taken up for,
I went down Harlem
blocks
Avenue the next
of
morning.
Thousands of people walking by, dropping
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just beautiful the next day. So, kudos to everyone involved.
Yeah,
Is there any estimate of how many people we think were there?
5,000 to 6,000 people. They said that's a guess. I don't.
It's got to be a very accurate, close call
Yeah.
on that guess, because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when you were walking down the street, you were having a hard time turning around.
Well, I know I parked like 4 blocks away to the south, and I could have actually just stayed, not even left my house, left my car there and walked, because I'm only 3 blocks away going from the north, so it would have been easier to walk. So,
Yeah.
I actually parked over on your old bank on 100 at the old Palos Bank, and I was actually thinking, and I was lucky to get a spot because someone pulled out right when I was there, and but if it's like that ever again, maybe we should make a deal with St. Ailes or somebody, or to let people park there and even have a little bus or something, or something to go from there to there. Something. I mean, it could, if it's getting that popular, and it seems like it's building momentum. As Jeff said, 600 plus cars. You might want to, do something like that.
I've had 20 or 30 people tell me that they were just so impressed with the number of people and the number of cars too. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful cars.
yeah, great.
And I'll add one of the comments that you made. The restaurants, they were all just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Most of them, some of them brought their stuff out like a sidewalk sale.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
To
Yes.
turn around and get a little money in there for themselves. But, and you're absolutely right. The advertisement that brings out stays for a while.
Yeah.
Well, one thing was when we started this was the idea that for people, the merchants, to be seen by other people. And when you have you're selling your wares out there, say at the Highlander House, selling Polish food out there. People may have never tried, a piece of golubki or a Polish sausage, but they have it there, and they may go back to the place. And that's the whole idea: is get people back into those restaurants and the stores. So it works out great. So thank you to everybody who worked on it. Appreciate it. All right. Anything else, Jeff?
No, that's it.
Cable TV, Alderman McGovern?
Yes, in addition to what we were just talking about, 2 weeks ago I was telling you about how cable TV here at Palos Heights is now one of the best ones in the state of Illinois. And just to give you a few numbers to turn around and add to that, I just want to let you know, now this is August 1st, so it's exactly the halfway part of the year. Okay? They've already done 200 shows. 200 shows, 11 volunteers. Okay? They've worked over 1,200 hours doing broadcasts for this place. And there is no way without great guidance from Ron, from Carl, from Dave, from Mike Mathis, how this could ever turn around and how they get people to come in and just volunteer, come in here and help. Okay? Even funny story I'll tell you about. Ron was telling me a couple of weeks ago. He's sitting at home having dinner with his wife. He looked over and he says, you'd be really good at giving the news. And she's been doing the news since. So, with that, you can't beat the show we put out. That's the whole thing. So that's the end of my report.
All right. Any old business? Citizens wish to ask questions? Any new business? All right. Before we adjourn, we still have an hour and a half for the police out night. And anybody at home, if you're watching live and you're not in your pajamas, come on over and you got an hour and a half. So with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?